The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
This is Curt Taylor from Curt Taylor and the Riff Raff, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, as always. I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and privilege to welcome back my good friend, Curt Taylor. You might remember Curt from previous bands as Primer 55, plus he's been with BONZ, which he still is currently in BONZ, and we're going to get into all that here in just a little bit. Plus, he's got a new band called Curt Taylor and the Riff Raff. And also he's working with Booby Burns, formerly of Primer 55 and Soulfly, and his band called Murder the Flesh. Also, Curt, my brother, how's it going?
It's going good, John. Thank you for the nice, long, good sounding intro for the coolest stuff that hasn't done shit in a minute.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we're going to get right into this, folks, because Curt wants to need to clear some air on some of this stuff. So 2015 rolls around. BONZ puts out their album Broken Silence. And I mean, technically you guys have not broken up, but what happened? I mean, you guys are just went on a hiatus and just said gone. That was it.
No, we were a machine for a while, man, and we had some good opportunities and had some stuff come up, and it was one night in Philadelphia where it just everything kind of hit a wall, you know, and it's not music wise, it's not, you know, creative wise or anything like that. It was unfortunate. It was business, and it was, you know, respect wise, and you know, we couldn't go on from there.
That sucks, man, because like I said, it was a beast there for a while, and then it just gone. It's wow. You know,
it was cool. I mean, the hard part was it was in my hometown of Philadelphia. I had my parents at the show. We had all kinds of stuff, and just some stuff went down there that was not totally out of the norm for, you know, a rock and roll show, but kind of a straw that breaking the camel's back kind of thing. And that night was tough to get past. And
right.
You know, it was what it was, and I hate that it happened, but, you know, we'll see what happens.
That's what I was going to ask next. You know, is there a possibility that this may come back together for BONZ possibly down the road?
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to. I don't, BONZ is family, you know. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family kind of situation. But just some of the things that went down, especially towards the end, I would need, not to quote Tracy Guns or anything like that, but, you know, he'd have to kind of come correctly, and we'd have to resolve some kind of stuff, because I did all I can. I poured my heart and soul into it, and, you know, basically be cut off at the knees.
Was there a tour possibly, man, or something that you think that BONZ kind of missed out on that you think could have actually propelled this band even more better?
That one I don't know. I know we were on a good trajectory. You know, we had some good opportunities in front of us, and we could have had some stuff here and abroad, especially some stuff in Europe. But extenuating circumstances kind of kept us from doing that.
So let's move on from BONZ, and let's talk about your new stuff, man. You've got Curt Taylor and the Riff Raff, actually. So let's talk about this new band you got going on.
Yeah, actually, Curt Taylor and the Riff Raff is like my foray into making a solo act, you know, at least making a record where I can have all my friends on it and people that I've worked with all over the years, and have something that's cool, and hopefully we can get a live thing out of it too.
Now, you sent me 2 tracks that you've got so far on this, and they're actually pretty good. I like them very, very well. Do you have some more songs written on this? Are you just in the process of getting things together?
Yeah, recording-wise, the record's about done. The wild thing is I've got different singers on a lot of songs. The song that I sent you, or the 2 songs I sent you, have a buddy of mine who I have not worked with in probably 15, 16, maybe more years, and have known since I ever moved to Atlanta. We've got a relationship for 20, 25 years. And this is the first time we worked together in a long, long time. So that's very cool, and I'm excited about that. We have some other very, very cool vocalists on there and all, and a lot of other cool musicians playing. It's hip.
Who's producing this album, or are you going to do it? Is this going to be an EP? What are you going to be doing with this?
Yeah, for better or for worse, I'm producing the whole record. So, but I did produce the whole BONZ record. So if you like that, give it a shot.
I noticed this is going to be a little heavier than the BONZ stuff.
It's a little more vocally oriented because, like I said, as you can tell on the singer, on the songs that I sent you, he's just badass, and every other song has a singer that fits that vibe. I'm not saying there's not going to be a rap metal or a rap rock song on there, but the majority of the record, or 9/10 of the record, is going to be rock and roll tunes with singers and heavy guitars and straightforward sounding stuff.
So what do you hope folks take away from this once they start to listen to it? I mean, I know that they've seen you in Primer 55, and plus you're doing BONZ and now this. What do you hope they take away from this album once they start to listen to it? I'm
glad you asked that, because the thing is, people expect a certain style or they expect a certain thing, but when Steve Perry went and did the Oh Sherry record and stuff like that, they wanted him to do something different from Journey. The big beef was it sounded like Journey stuff. Mm-hmm. I want to have people listen to it and think, hey, you know what, this doesn't sound like rap metal or new metal or this or that. This is where he is, and give it a shot, because everybody loves rock and roll. I don't care who you are. At the core of you, you're going to love a good song. You're going to love a good rock song.
Do you have any songs on this right now that stand out more to you than any that you can talk about if possible? I mean, I know these change every time you go in and start working on them and listen to them, but do you have any favorites so far?
I do. I have a couple that I really dig, and some that I'm working on that potentially could be favorites, but there's one that really deals with a heavy situation, almost like a real dark song that's written in light of all the heavy and cool people that we've lost in the last year or two, because it doesn't get acknowledged much. The mental illness, the depression, the suicide rate is up there. We have a song that kind of addresses that we're going to reveal before too long, that I feel pretty strongly about. It's just I'm waiting for some folks to get behind before we share it with everybody.
That is very true. That is so fucking true. It's like,
but I will share it with you, John.
I appreciate that. It's the truth, man. It's like, oh, well, Chester Bennington, suicide. Chris Cornell, suicide. Oh, well, we'll talk about like once every 6 months. No, that shit needs to be talked about almost on a daily basis for folks.
And it's real, and it hits real close to home.
Yep.
It's wild. So that's something I'm thinking about, but I don't want it to fall on deaf ears.
Exactly.
Let's really make something, make this song and make something mean something.
And it's not just famous people, folks. It's people in Curt's family, my family, your family.
You got it.
Let them talk. Don't push them away. And if they want to talk to you, take that fucking minute to listen. That's all they want.
Amen.
Oh, it gets me. That gets me pissed off, man.
And now for the entertaining part of the show. No, I'm kidding.
I want to go back to you producing your own stuff. Do you like this, man, to have that producer hat and have the control? I mean, I know you got to put on your musician hat there at points, but do you like having this control of being the producer?
I do. I like the fact that what you actually hear in your head gets on the recording. And then the bonus from that is that whatever you hear in your head then can build on. That being said, I would love to go into the studio and say, hey, Mr. Joe Schmo, take my songs or take whatever this band does, put your spin on it and tell me what you think it's going to take to make this a great song or a hit or whatever you want to call it.
Let's jump over to what you're doing now with Bobby, because you're working with Bobby on Murder Flesh. Goodness gracious.
And that's our hardcore project, but that's his band. You know, I'm just happy, and I'm proud to be able to reconnect with him and play in a band with him again. And it's cool. You know, it's just been a neat experience reestablishing a relationship that, you know, for whatever reason, neither of us thought would ever be rekindled, and be back in good graces and actually want to make music and, you know, deal with each other and help each other through life.
Yeah, because, I mean, you guys worked with each other in Primer 55, so you know exactly what you guys want in an album and in a song.
It is, yeah. And the thing is, Primer 55 was his baby. You know, I jumped on there long after it'd been established and was a fan, and dug playing those songs every night, and that was it. You know, being able to do those justice. Same kind of thing with Murder the Flesh. It's like he's writing these songs. He's got a hardcore and a punk mentality about him. The songs are really good. You know, whatever I can bring to him will be you know, just a bonus.
That's going to be my next question. I know he's writing some new stuff for Murder the Flesh, but how close are you guys ready to release an album or EP possibly with Murder the Flesh with this?
You know, we take baby steps. Like I said, we hadn't talked or even dealt with each other in about 7 or 8 years.
Okay.
So it's, you know, it's baby steps with the writing and the recording and stuff. He's got a lot of ideas. I've got a lot of ideas, but it's like, you know, I like to throw stuff to him, but again, with respect to it's his band, he's gonna handle the heavy lifting in that one. And like I said, I'm just happy to be there playing guitar, playing bass, whatever, you know, we do to get there on stage and get the music out to the folks.
I mean, you're doing so much stuff right now, and looking back on what you have done, how much growth musically have you seen yourself grow from all this till now, man? Can you tell the difference on how strategically you put things together as far as guitar writing?
It's funny because it's come full circle, because what I'm putting together now, and I'm trying to put the Curt Taylor and the Riff Raff record out, that stuff from all of the influence from 2008 joining Primer 55 till now, plus whatever I was doing before. You know, before I joined Primer 55, I was doing more blues-based, you know, rock and roll kind of stuff, and I'm hearkening back to some of that, and we've got some of that influence on there, plus some heavy metallic-y type stuff. But, you know, again, so far, no rap.
Do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process to maybe help keep your mind fresh and open, to not get bored, to not get stale? I mean, do you do anything differently with so much stuff you got going on?
No, you just have to kind of step up when it's time to rehearse with Murder the Flesh. You know, we go and we jam. Not a big deal. Then when I'm here, I'm writing my stuff. Now the big focus is on recording, you know, writing music and recording it for the solo record. And, you know, when it comes time to play that live, we'll gather everybody up. I mean, my goal is to have a live band to play the Curt Taylor and the Riff Raff stuff out that has, you know, my folks in it. You know, has Rob, the drummer from National Pussy, who played on these last couple tracks, and Bobby and people that are there, you know, so that we can pull the stuff off live and have a ball, you know, and get some people out.
How long have you been sitting on this to actually take it out as a solo act? I mean, I know you've been in several bands and things like that, but was it ever in the back of your mind, so I'd like to go out someday just on my own and try it?
It really came from necessity, John. It was like, you know, when the BONZ thing ended, I didn't know what to do, you know, and I sat around and licked my wounds for a while and thought, geez, you know, because in my mind, I'm like, no one's going to want to hear what I have to offer. No one's going to want to hear my music, because it was always either in another band or, you know, BONZ was the name of our band, which is totally cool, and he's the face of it, not knowing that, you know, all the stuff behind the scenes was the rest of us. So it was tough. It was tough to make the decision, and the bigger decision was, you know, on some of these tunes I'm actually going to be singing, and it's weird, you know, to throw something out there and not have the confidence, but you know, we'll see how it goes.
I think you do just fine, my friend.
Thanks, man. You know, like I said, it's just a big jump. I've never been the focal point, and that's why it's cool. That's why I say, you know, this Curt Taylor and the Riff Raff is my band. for better, for worse, whatever we're going to do, Murder the Flesh, Primer 55, those are Bobby's bands. I respect that totally, and, you know, and proud and honored to play in them. That's kind of how the music business is now, or that's how music is a lot of times, you know. I'm old. It's hard to find, like, you know, 3 or 4 other people to play with that, you know, the same way at things.
Very true. So what can fans expect at a show from Curt Taylor and the Riff Raffs when you take this out on the road and you start hitting up some tour dates? What are they going to get, man?
If I'm allowed to curse, I say I have no fucking idea. You know, it could be a review with background singers and dancers and stuff like that. It could be almost like a hardcore punk. You know, it won't be a trio, but, you know, four-piece band coming at you. It all depends on the vibe. Whenever, you know, we pick all the right musicians and get in a room. In my perfect world, when I have the people that I love and want to play with, it's easy. The tough part is trying to find a singer that's going to be able to pull off all the different ranges and all the different stuff that's going on. So, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that we're thinking about and trying to find. It all comes down to some of it, or not all of it, but, you know, some of it comes down to money. To where we need to be able to make sure we can have the right people in the right room. But, you know, we'll see. You know, that's out of my hands.
I know nobody's out there reinventing the wheel of music and everything like that, but what do you think that this band brings to the table for music that's not out there as of right now, possibly, if anything?
The biggest thing I can offer is heart. You know, this is where I poured my heart and soul, and this is probably the last 4 or 5 years that I've been going through and trying to put on tape, if you will, you know, musically and putting together. And the hard part is, or the creative part is coupling the right vocalists, the right singers with that to bring the song to life. But musically speaking, I'm playing all the guitars, all the bass on it and stuff. It's me emoting my emotion for that, you know, just trying to pour it into it. And for better, for worse, it's there, and it's what I wanted to do. And at the end of the day, when I'm in my grave, my wife can throw it in there and will bury me with it.
So let's talk about Primer 55, man. Being in that band, what kind of cool memories you have with Primer 55 going back in the day?
You know, too many to count. When I joined Primer in 2008, we still had some juice and stuff, and we could tour and play great shows. I mean, one of my first biggest gigs with them, actually the second gig I played was Gathering of the Juggalos in 2008, which was insane. You know, I'm still scarred by that.
That's a big step right there.
In a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, that's pretty much throwing you out to the wolves. It's like, okay, let's go. See what you got.
Yeah, and they loved us, man. I mean, the first time I saw there, it's perfectly sunny skies, and we were up on the stage, and the monitors are wrapped in fucking trash bags. And it's not because it's going to rain, but it's because everybody throws Faygo. They throw bottles of Faygo and stuff at you at the stage. If they don't dig you, luckily we didn't get pelted.
That reminds me of Indestructible Noise Command. You telling me, like, just fresh out of high school, dude, and they're opening up for Exodus. Here's, you know, back in the day, here's these kids just out of high school opening up for Exodus and getting booed. I'm like, oh, shit. Run. Run.
It's rough, yeah. And it could be tough. The night before we played the Juggalos there, Andrew WK was playing there, and they just didn't dig him at all, and they were throwing bottles. I think he got hit in the head with a bottle, all kinds of wacky shit.
Andrew probably busted a bottle and cut his own self and said, there, let's go.
That was, like I said, but that's like going right from the frying pan into the fire, and from there it was 3-4 years of both ecstasy and agony.
When are we going to expect a release date on this new stuff from you? Possibly, are we looking for like spring, summer, fall, winter? What are you looking at? Possibly.
No, we're not. Probably, realistically, we're looking at early next year.
Okay.
Because I've not quite done all the recording process and stuff, and then my goal is to put maybe 15, 16, 17 songs in the hopper, and then we'll figure out between management and what might be good for placement or this or that, whatever comes out, and narrow it down to 11 or 12. So that's the goal. We're still looking for someone to partner up with here in America as well. So that's all kind of going on behind the scenes. It's a race to whether we get the record done or, you know, we find someone to put it out.
Folks, as always, please get out and check out my brother Curt Taylor. You will not be disappointed in all of his work that he's done, from BONZ, from Primer 55 to what I guess Killer in the Workplace and things like that. So
that was a fun time. That's BONZ, me and Bobby. so I'll let everyone, you know, draw their own conclusions as of the behind the scenes.
Curt came to work in SWAT clothes. He didn't know what to expect.
Word.
Please get out and check out Curt's stuff. You will not be disappointed. Curt, as always, how can folks stay in touch with what you're doing, possibly other updates, things like that? How can he do that, my friend?
They can always find me at the Facebook. I think it's TT and the Riff Raff, Facebook.com, TTandTheRiffRaff.com. The Murder of the Flesh, I know, has Facebook and Reverb Nation, all that good stuff. There's some sample of the songs. Still, it never hurts people to go out and buy the BONZ record. You know, not that we're going to see money about it, but, you know, people can still share the music.
That's a good album from 2015. I mean, honestly, that's a good album.
I'm so proud of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were one of the first, man. You were one of the first to have BONZ and I on.
Yep. See, folks.
Not forgotten.
I love doing this. You help that one band out. That's all I ever ask, you know, just to help out in some small form or fashion. That's it, you know. Before I let you go, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Of course, but without the profanity.
Yeah.
You got it. This is Curt Taylor from Turbo Taylor and the Riff Raff, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up. And you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get on and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link, plus our YouTube link, and hopefully a Twitch link here pretty soon. Also, get out and check my friend Curt Taylor and all the stuff that he's done, from Turbo Taylor and the Riff Raffs to BONZ to Killer in the Workplace to stuff he's doing with Bobby right now. Please check him out. You will not be disappointed. Thank you so much for being on the show, man, and you're always welcome back as always, Curt.
You are the best, man, John. I appreciate you so much, man.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.